Hi, I'm Alvaro Henrique, and now I'm teaching a lesson about Sor study, which was edited before by Segovia as the study number 3. Nowadays is not the best way to number the study, to name the study, so I have here the opus number for you on the screen so you can be updated on how to better call this piece. In our material, unfortunately, it features this old Segovian numbering system. Other challenge that our current edition features is there are no fingerings. For a piece like that, in the level we are working on, I think it should have fingering. So if you're watching this lesson in any kind of platform, which I can also attach PDF files, I will attach Urtext edition of this piece featuring fingerings, and most probably will be fingerings made by Sor himself. If you are watching a platform which it's not allowed, like YouTube, you can go to imslp.org or to sorfree.fr and you can find there an Urtext edition of this piece. imslp.org is a website that intends to be the Wikipedia of public domain sheet music. So you're going to find scores for any instrument throughout a large period, and which will include Urtext editions by Sor. Sor Free is a website devoted only to this composer and also features Urtext editions. Very often will be the very same edition, so there will be no difference. There will be no difference whether you go to imslp.org or sorfree.fr. It will be probably the very same edition. And don't worry, it's public domain scores. You can use for free, share. So it's okay to use those editions on the web. With the fingerings, lot of what the technical challenge of this piece will be easily solved, because it demands some way of thinking fingering on the guitar that's not so obvious, but with the fingerings it's very easy to understand how to play them. One more thing that I have to mention before we start working on that piece is that lots of people use this piece to study Reststroke, apoiando. And first, Breaststroke was invented by Targa, which was 90 years after Sor. So Sor himself didn't know Reststroke. I am a Carnivalian myself. I'm being less radical recently, but it's still too harsh for me to even conceive playing one piece, all notes, beginning to end, with Reststroke. It's too much. Carnevaro said that there is no Reststroke. It doesn't exist. He didn't acknowledge the existence of it. So that's where I came from. I play Reststroke apoiando myself once in a while, but I don't like playing Reststroke so much. Not only because of my devotion, admiration, and respect of Abel Carnevaro, but also because Reststroke is a very easy way to have a strong and beautiful sound on the guitar. But it can be only that. It's only strong and beautiful. It's not weak and beautiful, mezzo forte and beautiful. So making dynamic changes with Reststroke is very challenging. I've heard some colleagues of mine that devote themselves a lot to playing Reststroke, and they can make some dynamic change, which with if you listen very carefully, you will be able to understand those changes in dynamics. But if you're listening to music while you're doing something else, or after a day of work and you're not in your best attention span, it's very hard for this very little dynamic change that they achieve be able to move people's hearts and minds. With free stroke, on the other hand, you can do. It's very difficult to do that amount of dynamic change with Reststroke. You can do the stronger one with Reststroke and weak one with free stroke, tirando. Then it works. But Reststroke apoiando from beginning to end, it will cost. It will cost that will sound the same dynamic throughout the piece. Which in a piece like that, with a sophisticated harmony like that, I think it's a very big price to pay. One more thing, I said it was the last, but there is one more. You are going to hear this study being played with a large gamma of speeds. And all of them are correct, because this piece, as we are going to explore, has a very sophisticated harmony. And if you play slower, it's easier for the listener to understand all this, what's going on in the harmony. Understanding chords and chord relations demands time. So if you play slower, you can fill this time with the harmony, and the listener will understand better what's going on harmonically. But this melody, it welcomes a lot very fast, happy, upright playing. Which, playing everything. So you will be able to listen to people playing them as slow as that, and as fast as, and all of them are kind of correct, but pay attention to what you have to give the listener for each speed. If you're playing slower, you are offering a better harmonic experience. So focus on the harmony. If you're playing faster, you are focusing on the melody. So give the melody and don't overplay the harmony. The listener won't be able to understand everything that's going on. So you just keep playing, keep on going. Don't mind that. Of course, there's a lot of shade among this white and this black. And you can, of course, not only decide for a tempo that's more between those possibilities, but also you can change the agogics. And in some moments where the melody sounds more important, you play faster and the tempo, and when you want to give more importance to the harmony, you will slow down a little bit, you hold on some notes, so you can give the listener the time to experience more the harmony, something like that. Maybe exaggerate a little bit for someone's taste, but you can bake this cake as you wish. Okay. We have to understand the harmony though, especially if you want to play it slower and give more attention to that. This study has a very sophisticated harmony, especially if you consider when it was composed. It features some chord choices or some chord voicing that we are going to hear only more often in the Impressionism, the 20th century, so it's very sophisticated. We begin at the tonic, it's in A major, then dominant, tonic, dominant, tonic relative, dominant, dominant of the dominant, dominant, subdominant, tonic, or you can understand also as dominant with 6th and 4th, dominant with 4th, dominant with 9th, dominant, 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 tonic. Then you're going to repeat. Now we have new material, relative tonic, dominant of the relative tonic, tonic relative, tonic, dominant of the dominant with 4th, dominant of the dominant, dominant with 4th and 9th. See how sophisticated it is for the 19th century. Dominant. Then we begin the second part in the dominant. Tonic, dominant, dominant, tonic, dominant with 6th and 4th, dominant, tonic. Then this chord is a little bit challenging to classify because it has a 7th, and if you fill with a 5th, then it will be a dominant chord. So, but because it doesn't feature the 7th, the 5th itself, you can have some doubt whether this is the tonic with a 6th on the bass or just a bass movement. And what's going on harmonies. And this B is just a passing note, or you can understand as dominant of dominant, tonic, tonic, dominant of the dominant, then dominant of the subdominant. Then I think this is more subdominant with 9th, and then subdominant, which is also very sophisticated, just a passing note. Then subdominant relative, subdominant, dominant, tonic, and once more, subdominant relative, dominant. Now see how interesting. Dominant, dominant with 4th, and it is what is more used in this time. It will be then a dominant with 3rd and going to the tonic. That's not what Sor does. He keeps the dominant with 4th and then tonic, sounding a little bit modal. It's very interesting. Which reminds me that this piece has the same structure of those Baroque dances. And this keep happening until today, okay? If you have a piece that's two parts, but the same thematic material, same rhythm, same character throughout, and the second part is as big or twice as big as the first part, the repetition of the second part is optional. It's not mandatory. And this ending, this very sophisticated ending, for some ears may sound something so special, like a very good joke, that if you play that once more, if you repeat that joke, it will lose its strength. So I understand those people that think that because of this very sophisticated ending, it's better not to repeat at all the second part. It works. Choose what's best for you. So this is the last piece for the level technical one, which is intermediate one at the Music School of Brasilia. Congratulations for arriving this far. You are ending what is equivalent of one semester of hard guitar playing at one of the most prestigious music conservatories in Brazil. And if you're working on your own, what I would suggest you to do is save these next 2 to 3 weeks to work more especially on 3 pieces from that semester. And in 3 weeks from now, you record yourself one video as an unedited video playing throughout the piece, as it would be a live performance. That's quite what we do as an exam of ending of a final exam of semester. So choose 3 pieces which you liked best so far, work on them for the next 2 to 3 weeks, and play them. You can record a video and send to me. You can send the link here, or you can talk to me privately. And you would be doing what is equivalent of one final exam of the first semester. We'll keep working on the next semesters. The full course is 6 semesters long, so I hope seeing you soon, when we are going to start working on piece from our second semester of the technical, which is intermediate level course. Have fun.